being here. As always, we'll start with questions in the room. Giselle Pichardo has the microphone that'll be coming around for all of you. For anybody participating on Zoom, as always, please go ahead and hit that raise hand function button so we can get to your questions. Maz, we'll start with you here. Mike is coming.
Hey, Brian. So it looked like a good start at the beginning there for the first 7 minutes of the game. Leo Chu had a couple shots. What did you see happened, or what happened after that?
Well, I'm not so sure. Even the first 7 minutes were as good as maybe first 7 minutes of Monterey. Yeah, Leo had a couple shots, but were they the right shots? Could we have extended possession in that part of the field? You know, again, we rushed a few things. Our pressure wasn't good enough in the first half. You know, they were able to play out, stretch us a little bit, get into some transition moments. I might disagree with you a little bit that the first 7 minutes were good. Thought, you know, there was 10 minutes in the first half, and then coming out in the second half, there was some decent moments. I mean, you know, Nico's got a score, Freddie's got a score, Raul had some looks. We got to start scoring goals, because obviously we're, you know, taking a couple goals, but you got to relieve the pressure off the defense by scoring some goals.
We'll go to Jeremiah next.
Yeah, Brian, speaking of the lack of goal scoring, I mean, do you have any inkling of an explanation for what's going on, especially at home? I mean, I don't know the exact stats, but it's been pretty bad.
Yeah, they're pretty bad, Jeremiah. I'm sure I'll see some at some point. I mean, we got 2 against Monterey, and then the defense caved in, or whatever you want to say it. Other than that, goals at home have been hard to come by. We worked on different things. Worked on rotating Jordan higher up next to Raul, Albert in the pocket, you know, Alex inside. We've worked on the left side, getting, you know, Leo Chu to, you know, be a little bit more effective when he gets the ball in the prime assist zone. What are his options? Do we have enough numbers in the box? Does a kid have help? It's a team sport. You know, are there the runners in the box in the right spots that Leo can pass the ball to? And then if we have them there, Leo's got to find those guys. We worked on all that stuff, but didn't come to fruition today.
We'll swing around the other side of the room to Chris Francis.
Brian, what gives you the confidence that they can turn this thing around with 9 matches left? And what's the sense of urgency right now, even though there is maybe 6 weeks to play here?
Well, the sense of urgency is you know, road games are hard to come by in MLS. We're a pretty decent road game. We need to win at least 4. You know, get us to 14 wins, give us a shot. So that's doable. You know, I thought Raul ran around till the end, that the guys, you know, again, worked. But the belief has to come from everybody, not just the coaches, got to come from them as well. So we'll try and give them, you know, again, maybe different training this week in the build-up to Minnesota. Maybe we'll, you know, make some shifts in the lineup. Got to find something to spark them.
Diego, we'll go your way next.
Buenas noches. El equipo pareciera que hubiera perdido el rumbo. No le fue bien en la League Cup y ahora en el reinicio del campeonato lo reinicia con una derrota. ¿Qué medidas está pensando tomar para cambiar esta situación?
So the team has lost. It seems like the team has lost a little bit bearing. We lost 2 games in the Leagues Cup. Now that we're back on the regular season, we lost again this game. What are the measurements that you think you're going to take in order to correct the course?
Well, again, we're going to have to find out if the lineup that we put out is the right lineup. We'll go back and try and make sure that the fitness side of things is good. Hopefully we'll get Christian back for for Minnesota, when I think there's a stat flying around that Christian's only played 12 games for us, but in those 12 games, we've only lost once. And we'll just keep pushing ahead. We can't, there's nothing else we can do. We'll keep watching the film. We'll keep going over some of the fine little details. You know, the first goal. Nuhu's usually one of our best man-for-man markers. So is that credit to Atlanta, or is it Nuhu has to do better on the play?
Sí, vamos a buscar formas en qué corregir en el equipo y qué buscar arreglar. Número uno, por ejemplo, vamos a ver si es que el entrenamiento es el entrenamiento correcto. Vamos a ver si la alineación del equipo es la alineación correcta y continuar tratando de corregir ahí. Y hay otros factores, como por ejemplo el hecho de que se recupere Cristian Roldán para el partido contra Minnesota. Hay una estadística que en los 12 partidos que Cristian ha jugado solamente hemos perdido uno, y tal vez eso puede ayudarnos a mejorar un poco. Pero tenemos que continuar presionando, tenemos que continuar mejorando. Vamos a continuar mirando los videos y repasando cuáles son las cosas que han pasado, encontrar detalles. Como por ejemplo el día de hoy, el primer gol, Nuhu típicamente es nuestro mejor marcador, sin embargo se perdió la marca y cosas así no pueden continuar pasando.
Owen, we'll come your way if you still have a question. Jada, sorry, just saw you. We'll go to you next.
I just wanted to ask about, we saw the trio, Nico, JP, Rusnak all start together for the first time since Portland in June. Was that something that this is a change in the lineup? What's your thinking with that?
Was it a change in the lineup?
Yeah, what was the thinking behind starting them all together when we haven't seen them in a while?
Well, because they're senior players, they've got a lot of experience, a lot of talent, and that was the lineup that we went with. It was our most experienced group.
Jada?
Thanks. Brian, it also seems like there's a lack of ideas, though, a lack of creativity, that you would expect after you guys had a break, and you did say that you guys were working on some of the issues. Is that a fair assessment at all, that there's just a lack of ideas through the club?
I would say there's a lack of execution in the ideas that we try to get across to the players. I think that's fair, Jada. I think that's fair. I think, some of the way we play and some of the things we worked on just didn't manifest themselves. So we'll continue to, try and get Jordan in scoring positions. We'll try and make sure that Leo Chu is a little more effective. We'll keep trying those things because, that's what we believe. That's what I believe.
All right, Felipe, I see your hand raised on Zoom, and that's the only question I'm seeing on Zoom, so we'll go there next and then close up here inside the room. Felipe, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Alex. Coach Brian, después del último encuentro regular de Liga, y tomando en cuenta este partido, 3 semanas de descanso, ¿cuál sería la mejora, si es que hay alguna que presentó el equipo para este encuentro?
Coach Brian, after the last league game, and considering that there was a 3-week, stop of game, what do you think were the improvements that happened during those weekends? Is there something to take out from there?
Well, after this game, no, I don't believe there was many improvements, Felipe. I don't think the team performed up to our standard. So we'll have to keep working on some of those ideas that we had and see if we can get them to be effective.
Felipe, creo que no hubieron realmente ninguna mejora a pesar de las 3 semanas que tuvimos de para. Y tenemos que continuar trabajando en las ideas que tenemos, continuar mejorándolas y tratar de ser más efectivos en el juego.
All right, we'll take a couple more in here. Going to go back on this side of the room to Maz Vida.
Hey, Brian, is there an element of overthinking that's going on out there, whether it's in the passing, running into space, or shooting?
It's interesting. There's one sequence where I forget the player, but he passed the ball when he probably should have shot, and then 5 minutes later he shot it when he probably should have passed it. Maybe we'll try and lessen some of the mental side of things. You know, sports is physical and tactical and technical, but there's also that mental side of things. So we'll take a look at that.
Final follow-ups? We'll go all the way. Actually, well, we'll start here since Gigi's right there. We'll go Jeremiah, then Jose.
Yeah, I know you'd said that Christian might not play. What was ultimately the decision behind? Like, has he cleared protocol? And I guess
He has cleared the protocol. We just wanted to make sure that there was no. We want to get him for the remainder of the season without any other hiccups. So we took an extra week just to make sure that he's 100%. And, you know, again, I will try and be positive and tell you that he's going to participate, but let's make sure he puts on a jersey in Minnesota.
Last one to Jose.
Brian, there seems to be a lot of frustration in the final third of the within the players themselves, and they're all veterans. How do you manage that situation, and how do you make it? How do you turn that into a positive in using their ability to manifest that type of feeling on the field and be able to channel that towards success?
It's a great question, Jose. Yes, they are an experienced group. That was one of the reasons why I put the big guys out there. They still believe that they can win. Yes, they are frustrated. How do we get them out of that? Somebody needs to score the goal to break the ice and get the team moving down the tracks. You know, I thought we had some pretty clear chances. I mean, Freddie Montero's not going to miss that very often. Nico, Raul has to start scoring. Jordan's got to get back to his goal-scoring ways. So once that goal goes in, I'm hoping that they'll, you know, find that belief, find that little extra mojo, and start winning games.